All right, so we're on. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. So of course they kicked us out the studio, man.
Right.
The Ronas got us. Uh, we're doing something different, and I think it's pretty cool. We still have our guest this week, and we'll do everything just like normal. So we'll adjust. So how you feeling, man? How was your week?
It's been a very weird week.
Mm-hmm.
Just not having sports in your life when it's been part of your life for so long has I feel like kind of like it's baseball season. You
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, like when the NBA ends and it just goes into baseball season and
Right, right.
you're following baseball, but like you're really not type deal. It is really weird. Normally like each week it's a struggle to figure out like, okay, are we over covering the topic
Mm-hmm.
or are we under covering the topic because there's so much sports to cram into an hour and just not to have that or even kind of see it with ESPN and
They struggling, man.
they are struggling to find things to cover.
I saw
I mean,
dodgeball. I saw dodgeball the other day. I said, wait a minute.
just even with the stories, just this was like the first week that define like a winner of the week because there's no coverage and nobody really cares what anybody is doing outside the coronavirus.
Yeah, I mean, and we do have some things to cover because as you know, there's no Olympics this year. It's postponed until next year. Uh
So okay, so let's start there because I was
mhm.
wondering if you were going to cover if we were going to talk about that. What are your thoughts on them postponing the Olympics?
They waited mighty long, and
Right.
it just shows like the IOC and the NCAA. They're so similar because those athletes don't get paid. And yes, a lot of these athletes that perform in the Olympics are professionals and things of that nature, but everybody isn't, and the Olympics are technically amateur. So I feel like the NCAA kicked their feet around because they were so concerned about losing money. The IOC the same. They were concerned about losing money, which they should be. I get it. They should be concerned about losing money, but I mean, public health should overtake money. It comes to a point where you have to have some sort of decency.
See, I'm in agreement. They did definitely wait too long to cancel the event. I think the NBA
Mm-hmm.
probably got it right. They were kind of the trailblazers with the canceling everything, and they kind of got the ball rolling because before it was going to be like, well, we're going to play an empty stadium, so we
Mm-hmm.
don't know if we're going to cancel this tournament or that tournament. But when the NBA kind of came out and was like, you know what, we're going to be at the forefront. We're going to suspend the season indefinitely until we figure it out. Then
Right.
you start seeing other major sports follow suit. You saw baseball, you saw everybody else. So it's like with the Olympics, it's like, okay, the decision has already been made. You've already got the trailblazer with the NBA that's already like took the initial bullet and
Mm-hmm.
everybody seemed to follow. Why would you think that it would be any different?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. And you can tell even to the 11th hour, they didn't really want to. They did not want to. They did not want to postpone it. But you had athletes around the world saying, "You guys need to postpone this because I mean, this is our health. They can't really work out because all the facilities are closed. It was just a bad idea for them to, and let's give them some props. We won't like bash them completely. They did eventually, postpone it. But again, why wait so long?
So this is my question, and I mean we've got a range of topics to kind of talk about in regards to this. But do you think that a lot of the leaders in the sports world are really oblivious to what's really going on? And what I mean by that is they're starting to set like these timetables of, we'll take Major League Baseball, for instance.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Scott Boras, I mean, he's not a major league player, or he's not like a general manager or anything. He's a
Mm-hmm.
really good agent. If you want to get paid, he's your guy. I saw today that he's proposed to play the World Series in Christmas, and he's got like a scenario out there to where we all know baseball is 162 games, so he's anticipating like the season gets start
Mm-hmm.
July 1st, and then he's got like another scenario out there to where they could play 144 games, and they have this scenario still where they're playing at Christmas, and it's two things that, yeah, right. So it's two things that I think is worth a debate. If you're a baseball fan, to where it's like, okay, well, you have baseball going on in the Christmas months, but then you start looking at it like, well, every city in December, like, we'll take Chicago, for instance. Who would want to play a baseball game in December in Chicago?
And they don't want to play in October, so
Right. So you look at that aspect of it. Then you look at the aspect of like normally baseball season is starting in April.
mm-hmm.
So you're cramming a season. So there's no regard for the health
Mm-hmm.
of the athletes. I mean, they'll be dead tired trying to cram 162 games into like a season.
Well, most people think that the baseball season is too long anyway.
Right.
So, I mean, if you could play 82 games or 81 games and call it a day, I think that would be. I mean, basketball's had shortened seasons, football's had shortened seasons. If baseball shortens their season this year and goes back to 162 next year, it shouldn't be a big deal. These circumstances, no one's seen coming. Well, there's people that saw it coming, but the regular Joe wasn't privy to the information that some of these other people had. So if the season gets cut short, then let it get cut short. Don't go to Christmas. Don't go past October. If you're going to go past October, okay, November 1st. But nobody wants to see baseball in November.
But who's to say that we have all this worked out by July?
It'll be. I highly doubt that.
I think it will too. But think about, okay, so if you're starting July 1st,
Mm-hmm.
you still got to do like a traditional training camp. You got to do some chemistry building. Everybody's not going to be ready. I mean, to be ready July 1st,
Mm-hmm.
you would almost have to be ready probably May. It's going to take you like a full month to get like everything prepared for the stadiums,
Well,
the training camps, the
well,
cutting.
the good thing is they've had training camp already. So I mean, they started training camp. So it shouldn't be.
You still have to bring people back. I mean, you're talking about like basically like a 3-month layoff. You know what I mean? So you would still have to bring everybody back together to kind of get everything worked out.
I get that. I mean, look, I'm happy with a shortened baseball season. I mean,
I think we're all happy. Okay, so I'll bring up another scenario that goes along these lines: the NFL draft.
Yeah.
I mean, so they're talking about still having that go on.
Mm-hmm.
And you get into, okay, so you're not having the traditional pro days.
Right.
You're not having the traditional workouts.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets a little fuzzy too, to where that's scheduled to still go on. I think it's April 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like
23rd.
Yeah, through like the 25th. So like, how do you still have something like that go on in the wake of everything that's going on?
I mean, you have to have some sort of normalcy. And yes, this is different, but I agree with them having the draft. I mean, you don't necessarily you don't have to be in Vegas. I'm cool with the guys. Everything they could do the draft just how we're doing it right now. I mean, a lot of things have been happening like that anyway. All these free agent signings have been happening like that because of this circumstance. And honestly, there's nothing really you can do.
Okay, so I'm in agreement with you. With
Finally.
Well, just with a couple things.
Okay.
So the draft, I've got mixed feelings about it, right? So the selfishness in me would like to see the draft go on just because football free agency for people that's having like just sports cravings, the NFL football free agency kind of met those cravings, right? Because it was like you had that excitement and the focus on it was there. So I feel like the NFL kind of saw that to where it's like, you know what? Our fans are still starving for anything to go with football. So why cancel the draft? We can still go on. But is it really fair to the players to
Yes. Because when they sign that contract, they will be perfectly fine.
I don't know. It's just
you talking about the walking across the stage, shaking the commissioner's hand, and things of that nature, right?
But okay, will everybody get the same opportunity? Because again, like I said, you're restricted to who you can work out for. You don't really have a traditional draft plan.
Okay.
So I think that will hurt a lot of people's stock.
I mean, again, no one was ready for this type of situation. So I mean, there's going to be some pros and cons, and unfortunately, those guys may go up, down, or stay the same as far as draft stock. I mean, for the most part, teams know who they're looking for. The combine happened, so there's always a guy that shoots up the chart and shoots down the chart during draft time, especially during the combine. So, the pro days help you, move and shake also. But for instance, I think Isaiah Simmons from Clemson, he ran he was a blazer at the draft. So he probably went from a top 15 pick to a top 8, so he got his chance to do what he had to do. But again, these circumstances aren't normal. So you take the good with the bad. I mean, you just have to, once you get your opportunity, you have to take advantage of it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, because if we're talking baseball be ready in July, what does this do to training camps? Rookies' ability to work out and mini camps and acclimate themselves with the team. You almost get a feel that it's going to be similar to like when you had to hold out for the NBA, or you had to hold out for the NFL when Major League Baseball went on strike. And you look at those seasons, and there was just a ton of injuries. It'd be interesting to see what the NBA ends up doing. If this is resolved, or are they going to come back in line? Because, now, when I was looking at our fantasy league, and of course I'll put this out. I'll put this out there, and you'll probably think too, some of these players have had a while to rest.
Right.
So, some of those guys are sitting on our waiver wire that were not healthy when they went out. They've had like a month, 2 months rest to get that momentum. You guys haven't been practicing, they haven't been around each other. So, when you throw them back in the fold, the season and the dynamics of the season can really change. So it's interesting to see, are they going to just put that on hold as well?
All right. I mean, you're right. So we do have a guest today,
Okay.
and she's been so patient, and we would have loved to have her in the studio, but of course we couldn't. So we have and forgive me, I done talked to you a bunch, and Naza uh Naza Shelley. She's the founder of CarpeDM Social LLC. Um, she manages daily operations, oversees the success of the launch. And let's bring her in here. Hey,
Hi guys.
how you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me.
And so okay,
Yeah.
pronounce your name. So I
It's Naza.
that's what I said, right?
You were close.
Yeah. So
It's yeah.
I just want to say again, I appreciate you coming on the show, and with due to the circumstances, we still had you on, and just to let you know, this is Women's National Women's History Month, and you are our closer. So you're our Mariana Rivera. All right. So how
Nice
you doing?
recovery. Nice recovery.
So how you doing?
I'm doing good, trying to be productive despite the corona, self-isolation or social distancing. And it's going, well. I typically work from home or work remotely anyway, so my schedule hasn't been too disrupted, but I am a super social person, so it's been hard not to be able to collaborate and get together with friends and, work, in co-work spaces and stuff. But we're still being super productive, and we have a lot in the pipeline despite the fact that we're, working remotely.
Yeah, this ain't a good time to be lonely.
Hey, you just gotta do what you gotta do out here, I don't even know what to say.
Hey, if you ain't locked her down,
right. Look, I think if you didn't cuff somebody during cuffing season, it's not the time to try now. Just enjoy your own company.
Yeah, them guys that broke up with their lady before Valentine's Day.
They're regretting it, right?
They hurting.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your company.
Yeah, so thanks for the introduction. So CarpeDM, it's CARPE, the letter D, the letter M, and it is a dating app. So my company is a social networking and dating company. And so we released a dating app on the market last year. And so what differentiates us from other dating apps is that we are a video-first dating app with a patented matching process that's really specifically designed to help users make more meaningful connections faster. So we require users to host a 5 to 10 minute video chat before they can text. So it's all about getting the most important information up front, cutting through the noise, and making a real connection.
So dang, you can't catfish nobody.
No, look, no catfish, no scamming. She gonna look like she look, or she's not. Same thing for the guy. I love it because it gives me an extra sense of safety and security before actually going out on a date with someone. Because I've already kind of seen him. We can get a vibe for each other just on video right now. And so that's the beauty of what CarpeDM does. And actually, with everything that's going on with Corona, we've actually seen, an increase in our users and our activity because people are looking for ways to connect with each other. And so our app just provides them that perfect way to do it.
So I've become a 90-day fiance.
Oh my God.
Over
Here we go again.
With sports. So this is a guy on there that his camera doesn't work. So this app would have
would have caught him. Sometimes I watch Catfish and I'm like, how are people still getting catfish? How is Catfish still a show on MTV? Like, I don't understand how it's possible with all the technology we have. But definitely for us, the type of users that we have are looking for those meaningful connections, and they're not trying to scam or perpetrate who they are. They're really trying to meet people, as we call it, allowing people to meet as close to in real life as possible while maintaining all the convenience of online dating. So yeah,
so
download it. Download it now.
Well, I do have one question.
Sure.
I'm pretty old school guy to where when I was dating apps wasn't out there. What are some of the advantages of using a dating app?
Well, funny, dating apps are actually now the number one way singles meet. So, maybe 10 years ago, the number one way singles met was through friends or at work or at social events. Now it's dating apps, right? So that's the way that people are meeting. So that's a definite advantage. You're going to get access to a greater pool of people that you might not meet on a daily basis. So, and some dating apps let you get really kind of granular in how you search for someone that you're interested in. So if for example, that you're a church-going guy and you want a God-fearing church-going woman, and the religion is an important aspect to you, then you can kind of hone that in. Or if somebody who's college educated is really important to you, you can make those selection criteria. So I think that it not only gives you a whole host of options, but it also helps you kind of meet people that you wouldn't necessarily bump into on a daily basis and, engage with them.
Wow. Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense.
So how does your app differ other than the I know the video is key,
Mm-hmm.
but like Tinder or Christian Mingle, what other ones are? What's the farmers one? I can't remember the farmers.
Farmers only. Farmers only, eHarmony. Yeah, there's a lot of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the thing about most dating apps is that they're designed the exact same way, right? Users, and I don't know, have either of you used dating apps? I know you haven't, Scotty, but
I haven't.
Okay, so most of them are designed the same way. Like users create a profile and then they match and then they immediately start texting each other. That is the first mode of communication between most matches on a dating app. So with us, we just realized that that's very inefficient. If you think about it, say that like we had never met each other, we actually wouldn't know much about each other. We'd be building each other's personalities, like trying to develop, a sense of who you are through text message is actually just very inefficient. And so we wanted to provide a process that actually lets people kind of get to the good stuff like a lot sooner. But the idea is that
I'm all about that. Nah, that makes sense.
Right. But the idea is that, it helps you weed out incompatible matches because like I told you, one of the benefits to dating apps is that there's a ton of matches, but that's also a detriment, right? Because it's hard for you to focus on the person that may have potential. And when you rely on texting as the primary mode of communication, you guys might know people in your life that are awesome texters, but they're actually kind of dry. They're actually kind of dry and dull in real life. And then there's people who you cannot get them to text you back, but when you see them in person and you interact with them, they're amazing. Right. So you have people on dating apps kind of missing each other both ways, right? Because some people are great texters, some people under deliver, some people are bad texters and over deliver in public. So we're just like, cut all that out, right? Like I want to see you see me, let's have a conversation. Let me hear your voice. Let me see your surroundings. And actually, one of the things that are different about our app too is like we don't share any of your personal information. So you don't have to give your name, your cell phone number, your social media contact information, your WhatsApp, anything. Like all of it's built into the app. And our application it's a tiered process. So first you have your what we call an initial match, and then we queue you, and it's a 48-hour countdown. And within that 48 hours, you have to host your video chat, which has to last at least 5 minutes. And then at the end of the video chat, we ask both people, like, Scotty, do you want to remain matched with Naza? Naza, do you want to remain matched with Anthony? And if we both say yes, then we allow you guys to message each other. But if one of us says no, we unmatch you, right? So you haven't shared any of that information. You've gotten an idea if there's any chemistry or any spark. And if there's chemistry, then you guys can message each other and take your relationship to the next level. And if there's not any chemistry, then no harm, no foul. We unmatch you and you can interact with other singles in the app.
So let me ask you this. What made you get into this?
So just being single, I'm 33. I live in the district. I'm from Northern Virginia. There was a point in time, I'm an attorney by trade. So I actually left my attorney position to run this company full time about at the end of January. So I was at one point where I was like, I got my stuff together. I got a good job, healthcare, a house, let me find love. And so I was really putting a lot of energy into it. Right. So I was going on dates, 2 or 3 dates a week. And what I realized, I was just exhausted and I was so tired of going out on all the dates that ended up being dead ends that I was just thinking in my head, I want a process to help me weed out people so that when I do go on a date, I already have like a higher sense of connection and chemistry with the person. I'm not just taking a shot in the dark that I'm going to like this person, right? And so that's why I thought, why don't people use video as a requirement, not as an option, as an ancillary add-on to your dating app, but like it is the app, right? Like it is the required step between the users.
Okay, and so when did you release the app?
So CarpeDM was released in February of 2019. So we just passed our year mark of being on the market.
Cool.
Yeah, so we're super excited. We actually have a pretty good user base here in DC, the DC metro area, but most of our users are in New York.
Okay.
Oh wow.
They need it right now. They can't go anywhere.
Oh yeah.
So how many users do you think that you have?
We're getting close to 10,000.
Oh, that's a lot.
Nice.
Yeah, so slowly but surely we're growing. And so, yeah, hopefully more and more every day. You know, we're trying to encourage people to see the light of how this process is so much better. And honestly, it's a no-brainer for people who've used dating apps and know the frustration points. But it's more about our ability to spread the word, access more people, and let them know about our idea.
Well, I think one way that you've kind of sold me is the older I get, the more valuable time is. So a lot of people don't want to waste a lot of time. Like you say, you just want to get to the good stuff right off, and you just want to know. You don't want to keep wasting a whole bunch of time. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, did you know that the average first date lasts 2.5 hours and costs $80? That doesn't count the time it takes you to get dressed, to get to the location, the effort that you're putting in, the anxiety about the first date in and of itself. And so the idea is that why, right? We say have a mini date from anywhere using our app. And then if the person kind of meets your chemistry requirements, then take it to the next step of, you know, having a full-on date.
All right. So the app, is it free?
It's free.
You had no like upgrade to like you pay X, Y, and Z, and then you like, I don't know, you get like a rose or something.
So there are some paid a la carte features in the application right now. So for example, you only have 48 hours to host your video chat. And you know, the app was really strategically designed to drive people to incentivize the connection, right? And to incentivize the people interacting. And so that's why we limit it to 48 hours, because we kind of feel like once you match, if you can't make 5 minutes within 48 hours to talk to someone, then you're probably not that serious.
True.
And we have an in-app calendaring feature that's like Google Calendars that lets you schedule your call. So we want it to be super convenient for the users. But right now we have, you can pay 99 cents. So say that you're just super busy, things get away from you, but you don't want to lose your match. You can pay 99 cents to extend your time by 24 hours.
Oh, that's not bad.
So okay, so I want to ask this: Does the app like give guys suggestions on things they should do on a first date? Or
so,
because I found like that was one thing when I was dating, I used to struggle with is where do you take somebody, or what's a romantic date, or how to spice it.
Yeah, so one of the things that we're working on right now is integrating icebreaker questions. So we want to help people facilitate like non-awkward video chats, and we definitely have in our like roadmap is to definitely integrate more things that help people take their date to the next level. So whether or not that's partnerships with local businesses that like allow you to host the date, us hosting events, which I'd love to talk about our new event. But us hosting events that allows the singles from our app to go to those events and meet each other for the first time. But then also we provide so much information on our website at CarpeDMDating.com and on our YouTube channel, which is the same thing, CarpeDM Dating, and on IG. So on Instagram, it's also CarpeDM Dating. So we post videos on dating tips, videos on, you know, how to prepare for a video date, on how to, you know, what questions to ask to break the ice. And then we have over 20 episodes of our own show, Dating in the City, which is on YouTube, and where we go around and we talk to people about love and relationships in and out of the city. So we have a new episode of Dating in the City airing tomorrow. We were in Miami and we're talking about icebreaker questions. So that should be a fun episode.
So talk to us more about this show. I'm getting ready to watch Because
yeah. I'm so excited. So we've partnered with District IRL, a local DC-based media company, to put on a new virtual interactive social dating experience. And so we know right now more than ever, people want to feel more connected, and we're feeling isolated with everything that's going on with Corona, not being able to really date. And while our app provides an excellent alternative, we want to build like a feeling of community, let people get involved, have fun in the dating experience. So we launched Lovecast, and Lovecast is going to be a show about dating, and it's going to feature 5 couples that go on virtual video dates, and we all get to watch together. So we just issued the casting call for people to submit their application videos to be on the show, where the applications end on March 28th. Okay. And you can find how to apply on our website at lovecast.video. And then once we get all the applicants, all the audience will get to vote to pair them. So say that all of us had submitted applications, the audience is going to get to pair us to go on our virtual video dates. And so they might pair me with Scotty, or they might pair me with someone else. And then we're going to set up the couples to go on their video dates. And then we're all going to get together in a live video cast to watch the dates. And we're going to have special guests that are going to be moderating. We're going to have virtual tip jars to support locals in the community. It's going to be really great. The audience is going to be able to interact, ask questions. We'll have the couples on live for follow-up to hear about their date and their experience, to find out if they want to remain matched and go out on another date, or if they really weren't feeling it. And so you can also follow all the developments for that at lovecast.video on all social media channels. So I definitely recommend it. Our Facebook Eventbrite is up now. And I mean, in less than 2 hours, we have over 60 people who already said that they are going to be watching. So we definitely want to get that, the news out there about the show. The show goes live on April 5th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll definitely be watching. It sounds like it's really innovative. So behind innovation comes normally an experience. What is the experience that you've had on one of these dating apps?
So that's a great question. I think that I've always been kind of like business minded, or like kind of grind mode minded. Like I said, I'm an attorney, but for a period of time, I had a plus size fashion blog that I ran myself. And I love getting free clothes and, access to events and shows. And, my experience with dating apps, I've used a lot of them. I would say a good chunk. If it's a major dating app, you probably can find my profile on there, not only because I wanted to see what the competition is doing, but also because I want to see if it works, right? So as much as I have my own dating app, I'm also a dater. And I'm also looking for love. And so the great thing about dating apps is that, especially free ones like CarpeDM, is that you can try a couple different ones, right? So download CarpeDM, you might find another dating app that you like as well, and you never know who's going to be on, right? So the clientele that might join CarpeDM might be completely different than the clientele that's on Bumble or Tinder. But yeah, I have experience on dating apps. We don't gotta go too deep into it, but just say that it drove me to create my own dating app. So it wasn't the best.
So has anyone have made like a real love connection on your app yet?
Yeah, so we're actually tracking couples now. So we're tracking people who are going on their dates, and we're now trying to figure out we're tracking couples who are going on their video dates, and now we're trying to find the couples that have taken their dates from the site to in real life. It's a little bit difficult now because of Corona and people really aren't like going out very much, but that's our next goal. We really want to get those success stories. I've had a little bit of success on my own dating app, just with like meeting people. Still haven't found like the person, but I've definitely been saving time and energy by using the video first approach. But hopefully very soon we'll have some success stories, and our goal is really to make those lifelong and like meaningful connections for people. So we want to see CarpeDM weddings and babies, and anniversaries. So that's our goal.
Hey, people watch reality TV. I mean, if they met on you can follow them. People will watch it. It'll sell. So,
Scott will watch it because he already watched it.
Well, look, at this point, we're all at home, right? So it might as well join in, feel connected with people, get to watch some people going on real first dates. I mean, I don't think that entertainment gets much better than that.
Yeah, because you know, first dates are always awkward. They're usually awkward. So yeah, should be some must see TV.
Well, you know, it's got like a blind date reboot that just came out. Yeah, no, I'm serious. Some of the stuff that you hear out of people's mouths on the first, like, he didn't really say that.
Yeah, he did. He did. I've been there.
So all right, so we have a segment. Scotty has a segment called Winner of the Week. Scotty, you got a winner, right?
You don't have a winner this week, man.
You don't. So let me. So I explain what the winner of the week is, and then Naza, you can come up with a winner from that you heard from your dating app, or any dating app.
Okay. So normally each week, and this is probably the first week in like a year that I haven't had one, I normally find somebody sports related. It's more my donkey of the day. Just a real winner of somebody that is just doing foul stuff or just messed up, and I pretty much shout them out. So because there hasn't been any sports, hasn't been any really just habitual line stepping or anything like that.
So the question is, who would I pick?
Who would you pick?
Yeah.
For the winner, but we're really picking someone who's been like messing up, really, right?
Right.
Oh, good. So this is tough. I don't really have like a dating one, but I think for this week, not to politicize things, but I'd have to give it to Trump for this response to the coronavirus. Like, it has been off the chain, unorganized, and just insane.
Now,
I mean,
in 2019, Trump has held the record for the winner of the week. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang, okay.
Antonio Brown, they're like right there.
I think
that's a good one.
That is a good, and I would have to agree. I think that with him, and we're not going to get too political, but I think at this moment he's showing his lack of leadership and his lack of compassion, and it's like, this is not the person that should be leading us right now as we go through this horrible situation. Like, he's not the guy, and he just shows that, just even him saying the Chinese virus and him knowing that it's offending people and still doing it, or even yesterday saying that we have to go. He wants everybody pretty much, for the most part, up and running by Easter. And I don't know if you guys noticed, what's the guy's name? The main medical guy that's Fauci, whatever. He was back there looking like, wait, we just talked about this. Yeah. I don't think that's what I said.
But the blessing in disguise, I really feel like he was going to get reelected. But I think after this, it's kind of opened everybody's eyes to, nah, you can't reelect this guy. Because like you said, it is a clear lack of leadership, a clear just understanding of how to get us out this mess or what are the steps. So I definitely agree with him. But he's always doing something stupid. So
yeah. And I think the thing about it is that when things are of little consequence, things are money, things are, time for the, country moving things forward. It's a little less like, okay, whatever, Trump's trumping. But when it comes to like saving people's lives, I think that, the beauty and the responsibility of being in leadership is to surround yourself with people who are smarter than you, that people who are subject matter expertise, because, we're all in leadership positions, and like, I couldn't do what I do without my team who's like smarter than me in a lot of respects. Right. And my job is to pick the people who I know are capable. And then my job is to listen to them. Right. And so that's, I think, where the rub is here, is that the medical professionals, the CDC, everyone is talking cross each other, right? And so to me, I'm like, in a time like this, we really need a unified messaging, because it's going to save lives. And so to me, that's why I think that it's so unacceptable, even over and above the other things that he's done that's unacceptable. And so I'm really hoping that despite the fumbling in the leadership and in the messaging, that we're able to turn things around. You guys were talking about, maybe there'll be the draft in July. I'm like, I don't think so. I was watching a subject matter expert doctor today, and he was saying with the way that, the rates are going, we'll have over 1 million people infected, and that the curve might not flatten until May, and most of the deaths will be in June and July, right? And so that's very scary to hear. And so I'm just trying to do my part with like the social isolation and distancing, but I just wish that, we had unified messaging from the top down, and that if he's not capable or competent, which it's clear, that he would just step out of the way and let somebody else come to the podium that's like a sound voice for us all to listen to.
But he's not secure in who he is. So like you spoke about leadership, it takes somebody that's really secure to be like, okay, I won't let the brilliant people do what they do, and to facilitate that. But when you're constantly trying to prove yourself that you belong in that leadership, and that's his problem, is he's always proving or trying to prove to everybody that he is smart, he is capable, and it's really impacted his ability to lead. So no, I definitely agree with all those points.
Yeah. So I mean, again, his ego won't let him do any of those things that y'all said. So, all right. So we talked about Corona all pretty much a lot of the show, and of course, I don't know about y'all, but I'm missing March Madness. I still can't believe there's no basketball.
So I had a question for both of y'all. So we're gonna get into a little sports for you. All right. So eligibility. Right. So you have all these college kids that their senior year was impacted. Do you think that they should grant them another year of eligibility?
They have to. I mean, what do you say? Sorry that this happened during, your year. So that's just tough luck. So what do you guys think? I mean,
it depends. Now the spring sports, I can agree with that. If it's like the winter sports,
you feel like they had their time.
I tend to disagree. I mean, pretty much. Let's say because it's not. We can't just say these 60-something teams that would have been playing in the tournament, they should get another shot. I know some of the league tournaments didn't complete, but basketball season was over. Their regular season was over. And so the winter sports, because it's not just basketball, I think it's volleyball and whatever's in volleyball's fall, but whatever's in those winter sports, I think that they shouldn't get granted an extra year. But like the softballs, the baseball, track, yes, they should be granted another year of eligibility for that particular sport. Now, you have some people in college that play basketball and run track, or play football and run track, or baseball or whatever, and I don't think that they should get another year of eligibility for football or basketball. But if they played a spring sport and ran track or something like that, then I feel like yes, they should get another year because they didn't get a chance to participate in that sport for that time of the season.
So you're saying that it should be a case by case basis?
No, not really. I just think that the winter sports shouldn't, like the basketball players shouldn't get an extra year, but the spring sports should, because they didn't play anything. They didn't get a chance to do anything really. They just they went to spring break. They might have worked out, may have had a game or two, but their senior season was impacted tremendously because in the case of college, what if you needed the senior year to really improve your draft stock, or if you were in track and you needed this season to get looks for the Olympics,
That's where I disagree with the basketball, because in March Madness or the ACC tournament or the tournament play, that's when a lot of these guys get to shine. I mean, that's when your career is kind of starting, like you've got the national spotlight on you, and without showcasing that, I don't think that you could really get a real accurate draft class.
So I don't agree there, because a lot of these teams,
of course you don't agree.
So a lot of these teams, especially big time D1 1A, they're playing like almost 40 games before you even get to the tournament. So yes, you may not have seen it in during the tournament, and you don't get to play in the tournament, but you got 40 games of film. If you couldn't show it in 40 games, okay, you have a good hot 6 games. That ain't really doing nothing. I mean, that's not going to help your stock that much.
I kind of think I'm with Anthony on this one. I think, especially for basketball, not to choose sides, but especially for basketball, right? Like, if their season was pretty much over, like March Madness, March Madness can be kind of a fluke sometimes.
Exactly.
I'm thinking about my alma mater a couple of years ago, UVA, man, woo, out in that first round. And so it's one of those things that's like, that doesn't necessarily indicate whether or not the players on that team are actually like, worthy of moving on. And a lot of times in March Madness is the last time people play. It's not like, their springboard to, perfect the NBA. It's like the last time that they actually play. So they should have enough content about whether or not they're ready from their full season.
I think what it breeds is you get to see like people's character.
Mm-hmm.
And whether or not they can handle pressure.
The pressure,
It's not really so much for me, their game, but it's that pressure of being one and done, or the pressure of not knowing too much about that team, but I've got to face them and just navigating through that. And I think sometimes you see, it could be somebody on that UVA team that's been a star all year, but when it was time, when it was their opportunity to shine,
right?
They couldn't get it done. So I don't know. Definitely good conversation. I don't think it's a wrong answer. I think with a lot of the guys declaring, that kind of leaves that situation a little bit different. I really do feel like with March Madness, they should probably go high school style of have the tournament all in maybe a weekend. Which I think we can do.
That is not going to happen. That is no way.
You could take the four regions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you could start on a Thursday, and you could get that top winner for that weekend, and then have the Final Four on the next weekend. You could be through March Madness in
I don't know about that
2 weeks.
I don't know about
it. If you played every day, like you would in high school, or 2-a-days.
First of all, nobody plays 2-a-days in high school. No,
I played 2-a-days when I was playing. Now it was a while ago.
That was a long time ago.
So wait, do you guys think that they should just do like May Madness, like just if once things kind of chill, like, and just do it so the fans can watch, but like not in the stadiums where they had planned to just like let the teams play and let people watch. So just push it to a time where it's okay for the players to actually get back together. Or are the players like not going to be like ready anymore? Like they've been training, they've been working out, and like now they're going to have 2-something months off. Like have they lost the momentum where it's not like appropriate to play to do the tournament?
So I know there's a lack of testing out there, but I've thought that maybe they should test all the NCAA players and the coaches. And if you have it, obviously, like you can't play. And like you said, maybe limit their arena and let them go at it. And I think, like, really, honestly, if you got 16 teams, so ultimately that's three games in a weekend, you could start the tournament on a Thursday and pretty much be done on Sunday.
You're tripping. So you want them to play 4 games and 4? No, you can't. Not in college. No.
Yeah. Some nights they play back to back.
You don't. Not in college. Maybe in the tournament, but you.
Yeah, in the tournament and the ACC tournament or Pac-10 tournament, sometimes they do go back to back. Hey, look, I just listened to somebody propose playing the World Series on Christmas. Anything is on the table, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
I mean, I don't think that's. I mean, I get it. Yes. It
happened.
You can have the games, but it's not feasible because you got to think to win a national championship.
It could be a May Madness. Okay, spread it out.
I'm not opposed to May Madness. I was actually cool with that, but I mean, it's different when you're talking about professional athletes. You're talking about kids. You're talking about kids that are 17, 18, 19,
Man,
20 years old.
man.
Listen, let me finish. Let me finish. But you want them to play in May, and they hadn't played since February or March. That's way too much. And you know they're not working out. So to have May Madness not working out, not going to class and things of that nature, not being with the team, it's different when you talk about professionals. But when you're talking about college students, and we were in college, and you're not at school, Lord knows what you're doing, during that time. And that's 2 months off from playing sports. No, it would be bad.
You did have an emphasis on Lord knows what you're doing.
I mean, I'm serious. You just don't. I mean, I think them canceling it ended up being the best situation and decision.
Mm-hmm.
But the selfish sports person in me is like, man, y'all can play the game in May.
Yeah, you see it. Definitely. You want to see it.
I mean, but I get it. So let me ask y'all. Let's just pick a quick final four. The each of us. I guess I'll start, right? So I think it would have been Dayton, Gonzaga, Kentucky, and probably Duke. Those would have been my final four.
That Duke team was okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dayton, where did Dayton come from?
Dayton, they won like almost 30 games, man. They won 30 games. And they had the AP Player of the Year. They had the Coach of the Year. Not necessarily saying that would have put them in the Final Four, but I think they had a good team.
All right. Okay.
So who you got? Who's your four?
I really have to go. I'll be honest. I didn't really watch as much college basketball. I would have probably just went with Michigan like I do every year.
Yeah.
If they would have made the tournament. All right, so what about you, Naza?
Yeah, I'm with Scott on this one. I mean, I always root for UVA because that's my team. Usually Michigan's in the mix, but and Duke, I don't, and then Gonzaga. So I'm not sure. I like this. I don't know if UVA would have won again, but I like to, we got the shirts that say we still the champs because we didn't have a tournament this year.
Right.
But yeah. I didn't know Michigan didn't make it. Are you talking about Michigan State or University of Michigan?
Oh, University of Michigan. We're both Michigan fans.
Yeah. My brother went to Michigan State, so I don't really do U of Mich, but Michigan State, yeah.
Well, I think the draw for me is I start really paying attention to college basketball right around March Madness. Like I'll follow Michigan, and then everybody else. I mean, if it's a big player somewhere, maybe catch a couple of games, and then March, I kind of zoom in on it. So,
Well, you got your bracket, man. You trying to make sure they don't get bust, and you win some money. I don't know if y'all be betting, but that's what gets me excited about it. I don't watch all year, and then during March Madness, I'm all into it because I got $5 on the line for my office pool, and I'm trying to win it.
Ann and I, we probably play in 4 or 5 different brackets.
Yeah, it's a bunch. It's a bunch.
Yeah, so always
and a lot of the times we're in it, but I mean, I don't know. It just sucks, man. Like everything's just canceled. So I'm home working, and I have to watch like Chicago PD and SVU.
But are y'all gaming? Are you guys gaming? Like, I mean, I'm sure people are like, there's probably some sports gaming going on as far as like video gaming. I don't know if y'all want to break out the the NBA Jam circa
NBA
1990.
Oh my
with
God.
the Nets on fire. I don't know what y'all gotta do in these dire times to get your sports fix, but that might be an option.
I play a little bit of Madden.
That's what
you said. What?
Please do. Tell them. Tell them to entertain themselves. Yeah, definitely tell them to follow the lovecast.video. That show is going to be so fun. I'm so excited about it. And we want to make sure that the people who are applying are diverse. So diverse ages, sexual orientations, ethnicities. So definitely tell all of your friends.
And what is it called again? Lovecast.video?
Yep, lovecast.video. That's where that's the website, and it's the same on all social media handles. So you can find us on TikTok, YouTube, IG, Facebook. That's it right there. And the Eventbrite is up on Facebook, so you guys can follow the event and get all the notifications on when to vote. You know, when the live show is going to happen. There's going to be so much stuff going in between on social media, like showcasing the singles. So we're super excited.
Okay.
All right, so give everybody your social media again, so where they can follow you, where they can follow the show. I know you just said for the Lovecast.
Yeah. So for CarpeDM, it's CarpeDM Dating across all platforms, Facebook, IG, YouTube, everything. And that's also our website, CarpeDM Dating. You can find us on the App Store at CarpeDM Dating. So download the app today. For the Lovecast, it is lovecast.video on all platforms. And you can find us on Eventbrite, on Facebook, and everything. So definitely follow. And if you want to follow me and my startup founder journey, then you can find me on IG at CarpeDM Boss. I post stuff about what it's like building a tech company, you know, speaking engagements and like inspirational quotes and everything. So you can follow me personally if you're so inclined.
And there's one other thing that I voted for.
Startup of the year. So we picked. So we were supposed to be in a competition called Startup of the Year, where 15 of the top startups in the nation were selected to pitch at South by Southwest. But as you know, for Corona, South by Southwest was canceled. So we were super disappointed about that. But they moved the competition online and did a virtual competition. And so we were asking people to vote for us for the People's Choice Award. So that was pretty much like whoever got the most votes from individual people won the People's Choice Award. We didn't win that, but we did place 5 in the competition. So they gave prizes to the top 5 startups. And so we placed, and we were super excited about that. Nice. Because it's such an honor to be a part of, you know, the cast of startups that were in that competition.
Wow. Right. Now that's remarkable.
All right. So
we're super excited.
So I have an idea, right? When you have a date, when you're going to come up with another dating show where you're going to need judges, we should be some judges. I want to be a judge. We should be judges. All right. And that would be pretty cool. So that's my idea. So whatever you get, I want my 10% from that too.
10. Ooh, is that industry average?
I'll being the judge.
We'd be happy to have you guys, and definitely, you know, on our YouTube show, at CarpeDM is called Dating and the City. And so we'd love to have you guys on as guests on that show. We talk about love and relationships, whether or not you're in a relationship, you're looking for love. We talk about all different topics with all different types of people. And so you can find that on YouTube under CarpeDM Dating as well.
Yeah, definitely. When we get back going, we got to have you in the studio so we can get a follow-up. And maybe when the show kicks off, you know, we'll try to get you before you blow up. Before you become like a Mona Scott or something.
Yeah, well, I'd love to come to the studio and join you guys, and definitely want to shout out the team that's behind CarpeDM, which is my my team, Sally Hama and Hannah Cho, and then also the group that's working on Lovecast. It's a combination of CarpeDM and District IRL. So we're excited to, as a collaborative, bring you guys this entertainment.
Awesome.
Jinx.
Thanks for having me, you guys.
Thank you for joining us. It's greatly appreciated.
Absolutely.
I had so much fun. So definitely keep in touch.
All right, definitely.
Absolutely.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So again, thank you, Naza, for joining us. I mean, we just about done. Normally I have an old school joint of the day. I think I'm just gonna go play an old school joint once I log off and whatever. I don't care. And do it like that.
You know, I missed the studio a little bit, but I like this.
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
It's something different. I will tell the people. We may not do this on Wednesdays, but we may do this more often.
I agree.
And especially right now, everybody's self-isolating and quarantined, and it gives us another opportunity to talk sports. And it doesn't necessarily have to be sports, but it gives us something to talk about. It gives us something to do. And I mean, it is what it is. But I think that was a good show, man.
Yeah, definitely. But like I think there's avenues that we can figure out how to get the music back going.
There is. I just listen. Okay, let's take it one step at a time.
No,
but I do want to give a shout out to my boy Brian Waters. He is also an NABJ member. He helped me out a lot with us getting this squared away and getting it going. So Brian, I appreciate it. Well, we appreciate it because it was rough, man. When they told us we couldn't get in the studio, I was like,
right.
Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? But it's all good. But I mean, before we get out of here, everybody be safe, man. Eat your vegetables, self-quarantine. But yeah, man. So I mean, what you got, man?
That's it, man. Stay safe. Do you? We'll get out these times. Definitely looks like it'll get worse before it gets better, but now we're built for it, man. We're America.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, this is Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo. This is the first time I said that the whole time. Oh my god!
No commercial, hour straight through.
Yeah. I'm on my music, man. But this is Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
Boy, Scotty B.
We out of here.